Qigong. The little gist of it is I had a heart attack at age 18 from a meth overdose. A few months later I had a second heart attack because I couldn't learn from the first one. And then I put myself into Taekwondo as a means to change my path. And then one night before a fight, I was accidentally kicked in the back. It left me with a severe back injury and led me to a doctor. And this doctor had a therapist working for her. And this therapist, was talking to me. He was a martial artist, and he started talking to me about Qi. And excuse me, I was like 19 years old at the time, and the closest thing to Qi I could get at that time is like Cheez-Its and Cheez Whiz. That's about the gist of it. Anyways, I started taking these classes, and I had severe health problems too. I had severe digestive problems that I had lived with for years. I had severe sinus problems, and lo and behold, after about 6 months of doing these Qigong practices, for which I'm going to teach you today, it went away. I couldn't tell you exactly what day it went away, but there was all of a sudden the realization, like, oh wow, when did I stop living on all those antibiotics? When did I stop living on the Sudafed, Actifed, and all that kind of stuff? So I couldn't tell you the exact pinpoint date, but it was just all of a sudden the realization, like, oh wow, this has gone away. So I thought, if a simple movement in specific meditation could do this to me, to my body, or benefit my body this way, there must be something to Chinese medicine. So that's when I started going to school and practicing Chinese medicine. So if you enjoy these practices today that I'm about to teach you, I have a book called Qigong for Self-Refinement, Total Health of the 5 Elements. We also have a Qi Club that's Monday through Thursday, Pacific Standard Time from 8 to 8:30, and we have over 200 members from around the world. It's a half-hour class. And then this half-hour class, if you can't make it live, then you have the recordings for 1 week.
So that, and it's infused with high vibration.
And so what happens is that we have a community of like-minded individuals that understand that our mental emotional wellness actually contributes to our physical wellness and our spiritual wellness. And so according to Chinese medicine, classical Chinese medicine, the leading cause of death and disease is actually negative emotion. So the specific practices that I'm going to be teaching you today are meant to give you tools to not only deal with day-to-day trauma, but also past trauma, which shows up as inflammation and disease. So with that said, there's no questions. We're going to go ahead and get started right now. So what's going to happen is we're looking at the posture. So there's 3 regulations to Qigong. First regulation is physical posture. They call that the Wu Ji posture. And how do we stand in our Wu Ji posture? Well, we are going to start off with our feet out, about shoulders width apart. Toes are pointing straight ahead. We have the knees unlocked. And from here, we're going to gently tuck that sacrum underneath and pressing back the Ming Men, which is the acupuncture point right opposite the belly button. We gently tuck the chin. By tucking the chin, it presses up on the crown point at the top of the head. That crown point is also called the Ba Hui. So we're gently tucking the chin. We press up on the crown point. Now what's happening is that we are gently elongating and aligning the cervical, the thoracic, and the lower lumbar spine. Okay? Tip of the tongue is going to gently curl to the roof of the mouth behind the teeth, as if saying the letter N. So the breath is through the nose. So we have a saying that you could actually regulate the flow of Qi a lot better by breathing in and out through the nose. Now there are some Qigong practices where we will breathe out the mouth. Excuse me, the majority of the practices are actually done by breathing through the nose. All right. When I breathe, and then the second regulation is I want to pull the breath into my lower abdomen, also referred to as the lower dantian, or also referred to as the lower field of elixir. So we're going to imagine a white pearl, or we're going to imagine this ball of energy expanding as we inhale and then as we exhale. So it's like a baby. If you look at a newborn baby, he or she will breathe into their abdomen. Okay, the abdomen will rise and fall. Okay, so that's the second regulation, which is natural breathing. Third regulation is mind intent. We have a saying that the imagination leads the mind, and the mind leads the smooth flow of the Qi. All right. If you have a hard time understanding what Qi is, just think of it in terms of blood or fluids inside your body. In Chinese medicine, they say that both are contained together, meaning the blood and Qi are intertwined. They say that the blood contains the Qi, and the Qi moves the blood around the body. So if you have weak blood, or if you're anemic, what happens? You want to sleep all the time, you don't want to talk that much, the energy is weak. Okay, so there's a definite interconnectedness between the two. They cannot be separated. It's just like the theories and philosophies of yin and yang. All right? So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start off with our feet out, about shoulders width apart. Our toes are pointing straight ahead, like I said, and unlocking those knees, tucking that sacrum underneath, pressing back the Ming Men, and then from here, tip the tongue, gently curl to the roof of the mouth behind the teeth. And practice I call pulling down the heavens 3 times. So we're going to inhale and exhale. And inhaling. Connect you to your higher power, whatever that looks like to you, or just imagine a white light that flows down to all the tissues and all the cells of the body. And exhale. Alright, then we're going into a practice 3 cheek clearing exercises. So we're going to start off inhaling, bring the arms up. Exhale as though I'm tossing a stone. Inhale, center, and exhale. So from here, I'm going to gently shift my weight from side to side. Gazing to the tips of the fingers, allow for any excess thoughts, feelings, or emotions to flow away like a dark cloud. So I'm not lifting my heels off the ground as I do this. I keep my heels firmly planted, and what I'm doing is I'm shifting my weight, using my legs as a pump to pump the blood, the fluids, the lymph fluids of the body, the lymph system. So you can definitely slow this practice down as well too. Gaze into the tips of the fingers, just letting go. So if you have any tension in the shoulders and in the neck, just imagine that rolling off the tips of the fingers like a dark cloud, going several feet away from the body and deep into the ground. And then from here, we're just going to gently slow it down, coming back to the center, and then finishing off with pulling down the heavens again 3 times, inhaling. Once again, connecting to your higher self, whatever that is. God, Tao, universe, source, whatever feels good for you, whatever's in alignment for you. So remember, these practices are designed for you to be the best version of yourself. Third pull. Alright, as you finish pulling down the heavens 3 times, we're going to bring the feet a little bit closer together, and we're going to begin to lightly bounce on the balls of the feet. Now I'm not lifting my heels off the ground, so it's not a calf building exercise. But what I'm gently doing is I'm bouncing on the balls of the feet, which stimulates the bubbling well point, which is the beginning of the kidney acupuncture channel. I'm going to use my internal vision to focus on major joints of the body. Starting off with the ankles, allow for all tension or discomfort in the ankles to release out through the bottom of the feet like a dark cloud, going deep into the ground. So as we age, some of us get arthritic pain in the joints. That fluid in the body starts to break down. They actually call that phlegm. So arthritis is considered a phlegm condition in Chinese medicine. So focus on the ankles first. Now the knees are going to allow for any tension or discomfort in the knees to release out through the bottom of the feet, down deep into the earth. connects the hips, the groin, the low back. Just letting that go. So if you have any low back pain, and shake that down. Imagine leaving out through the bottom of the feet like a dark cloud. Now bring your awareness up to the chest, the heart. So on the thoracic spine, in between the shoulder blades, if you have any tension there, or any emotions obstructing the heart, we're going to allow that to release out through the legs, through the buttery well points, and down deep into the ground. Okay, now bring our awareness to the fingers and the wrists. Gently shaking that out as well. Now through the fingertips like a dark cloud. Now up to the elbows. Shaking that out. Now we're going to bring our awareness or mindfulness to the shoulders and the neck and head. And just allow for any tension or discomfort to release out through the arms, through the fingertips, and deep into the earth. Alright, then we're going to stop bouncing, and then I'm going to inhale, grabbing the golden light from the earth as I inhale, roll up on the balls of the feet, bring the energy beyond the top of the head, exhale and drop. Just releasing down into the ground. Inhaling all the way up, pulling that energy beyond the top of the head, and release. Let's do a couple more. Once again, grabbing that earthly energy, bring it up through the body beyond the top of the head, and release. One more, inhale. And bringing that up, and letting go. Alright, stepping out, pulling down the heavens again 3 times, inhale. And exhale. And gather, connecting to your higher self. Allow for this white light to saturate every cell, every tissue of the body. And then from here, shaking the tree, so we're going to start with the fingers and rotate, shake all the way up the body. So we're going to inhale. This is one of my favorite Qigong practices. Inhale, and let that stuff go. We're one of the only animals or mammals on land that does not shake it off when something happens to us. So inhaling. So the next time somebody upsets you, your spouse or significant other, just go into another room and shake it off. I probably wouldn't shake it off in front of them, but you could. Might make you laugh. Inhale, and let that stuff go. Let's do one more. Inhale, and letting go. All right, pulling down the heavens 3 times. Inhale, and exhale. Feel that white light. Feel your connection to source, to God. Feel that energy. Saturate every cell, pulling any excess thoughts out of your head, allowing you to go back into your body. Third exercise. And as we pull down the heavens a 3rd time, we're going into the center and balance meditation. This is a mindfulness meditation to allow you the ability to feel inside of your body. So either standing or finding a chair and sitting down. We're going to still have the feet firmly planted on the floor. The breath is still long, steady, even and deep into the lower abdomen. And from here, we're going to place a smiling face on the front of the forehead and imagine a warm oil that begins to melt down through the front of your body, increasing your awareness of what's there. So starting off with the forehead, the brow bone, eyebrows and eyes, the temples, the front of the ears, the nose, the cheeks, the lips, flowing down through the chin, the neck and throat, flowing off to the upper chest and shoulders, to the biceps and the elbows and forearms and wrists, all the way down through the palms of the hands, leading out to the fingertips. And from here, allow for this warm oil to penetrate now into the chest, the flanks of the body, the abdomen, through the waist and groin, the thighs. You now allow for this warm oil to flow down into the knees, the shins and calves, ankles, feet and toes. All connecting, all flowing off deep into the ground. And just take a moment now to feel the entire front of your body from head to toe. Feel the left and right sides of the body. Feel what's there. Now melting down and feeling what's behind us, so starting at the crown point. Imagine this warm oil now flowing down through the back of the scalp, touching every hair follicle, every cell, every tissue. The warm oil relaxes behind the ears, from the scalp to the base of the skull, to the neck, the shoulders. Flowing and pouring through the triceps and the elbows, the forearms, the wrists, the back of the hands, leading all the way out to the fingertips. And then from here, the upper back, the mid back, the low back. Energy wells up in the waist, flows or pours through the buttocks, the thighs, our hamstrings, the back of the knees, and the calves and ankles, feet and toes, all connecting, all flowing off deep into the ground. And now just take a moment to feel what's behind you, feeling just as much to the front as you do in the back, as well as to the left and the right. And once again, connecting to source, imagine this white light that begins to penetrate through the brain. So visualizing and feeling now what's inside of you. You feel the left and right hemispheres of the brain, the space between the brain and the skull, the bones of the face. You feel behind the eyes, and nerves that connect behind the eyes to the center of the brain. Now visualizing the sinus cavity, the inner ear, the bones and muscles of the face, the upper palate of the mouth, the tongue, the lower palate. Traveling down, vertebra by vertebra, through the center of the neck and throat, visualizing the air passageway, the muscles of the neck, the arteries, flowing down and branching off into the shoulders, now visualizing and feeling the entire shoulder girdle, the chest and the back, all the fascia and the connective tissue. Now this white light penetrates into the center of the bicep, triceps, to the center of the elbows. We feel the fascia, the bones of the forearms, now flowing down, touching every bone of the wrists, hands, and fingers. And then from here, this white light penetrates through every rib. Feel as the ribs wrap around to the spine on the back. The white light fills up into the heart and the lungs, flowing down to the liver and gallbladder on the right side of the body, the spleen in the center, the stomach, or the pancreas in the center of the stomach, and spleen on the left sides of the body, the intestines, the kidneys, the bladder, the hips, the bones of the legs, the muscles surrounding them, center of the knees, the shins, calves, all the small bones of the feet and toes, and allow for this white light to flow down deep into the earth. Now imagine as though you're standing on a sea of liquid energy comes up about the height of the ankles. Next, imagine the roots growing out from the bottom of the feet, connecting firmly to the earth. And as we inhale, we begin to pull this little light up the roots, up the legs, into the abdominal cavity as we inhale. Then as we exhale, we're sending out any toxicity out the legs, out the roots, and down deep into the ground. Inhale. You use your hands, or you just use your mind and sense to guide this energy from the earth, up the roots, up the legs, into the abdominal cavity as we inhale. And then as we exhale, releasing out all toxicity. meditation, we're going to go into the microcosmic orbit meditation. So we're going to use our hands to guide this energy straight up the spine, up over the top of the head, down through the midline of our face, the chest, the abdomen, and like a circuit going through the perineum, then up the spine again, up over the top of the head, down the front of the face, the chest, the abdomen. The perineum is the acupuncture point between the sex glands and the anal muscle. So we lightly squeeze the anal muscle, closing the lower gate of the body. Tip of the tongue gently curl to the roof of the mouth, closes the upper gate of the body. And as we guide the energy up the spine, up over the midline, to the top of the head, down to the midline of the face, throat, chest, abdomen, to the groin, to the perineum, it's like a pump. We inhale and exhale. So working with two major acupuncture channels of the body. The channel up the back is called the governing vessel, and the channel down the front is called the receptacle channel. And these two main channels are like reservoirs that when they open up by doing this Qigong practice, the other smaller reservoirs that connect into the 12 organs of the body cross these two channels at one point or another. And then those channels and those organs benefit from quality and quantity of energy that flows through these two organs. Let's do a couple more. Feel the energy rising and then descending, making sure to pull the excess energy out of the head. Last one. And exhale. And then finishing off by pulling down the heavens one time. Inhale. And exhale. Going all the way down. Alright, going into massaging the yang organs of the body. We're going to bring the hands up, and then as the hands swing down, going to release. Now, making this into a mindfulness practice, what we could go ahead and do is, as the hands come up, imagine golden light once again coming up into the visceral cavity. As the hands fall, releasing out any toxicity, in particular from the bladder, gallbladder, stomach, and intestines. So if you have an upset stomach, or you eat something that didn't sit right, maybe you have some anxiety and you're feeling this anxiousness in your stomach, you can focus by closing the eyes gently. And as the hands fall, we release out any toxicity from the body, out the legs, dispersing it back down deep into the earth. Once again, there's a slight little bounce on the balls of the feet, the heels of the feet, not lifting the heels off the ground, keeping them connected to the earth. So Qigong is a 5,000-year-old practice. So Qi is the life force energy that emanates through all things, seen and unseen. Gong is the skill in which, in this case, we are harnessing this life force energy inside of our body to increase our organ function, to release out any emotions that get stored in those organs, and to increase our vitality and our quality of life. And what I love about Qigong is that it does not discriminate against age, gender, religious or spiritual belief structure. It benefits all people. And it empowers you to be able to take care of your own wellness. Let's do a couple more here. Clearing out the stomach and coming to an end. Pulling it down one time, inhale. And exhale. Alright, wrapping the waist, so the hand in the front is going to tap. The hand in the back is going to tap the kidneys on the back. So this is what they call as a pre-heaven exercise. Pre-heaven related to the kidneys. Post-heaven actually relates to the stomach. So the hand in the front can tap the chest here. This is where the lung acupuncture meridian emerges. So right now we just have the autumn equinox. So now the lungs during this time of year tend to be more prone to disease. So we want to strengthen our lungs, because when we strengthen our lungs, then it helps with our immune system. We're going to allow the hand in the front to tap the sides where spleen acupuncture channel enters into the spleen. Once again, I'm not lifting the heels off the ground. So this practice, you actually do also from the seated position. Chris and I are clinical directors for the Special Olympics for California, for a program called Healthy Athletes, Strong Minds, where we teach these practices to the athletes and their families. Not only to deal with stress of competition, but more importantly, what do you do if somebody's bullying you? What do you do with that energy of getting into an argument with somebody? Alright, slow down. Move to the end. Pulling down the heavens one time, inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. All right. Going into collecting the energy between heaven and earth. So I'm going to grab energy from heaven, which you say is yang energy, grabbing then with the yin energy from the earth as I inhale. Now, if you want to stretch and make this into a stretch, you can, but if you have low back problems or any problems, you don't have to stretch down that far. You can actually just use your mind intent. So you can actually just come to here and that and grab in earth energy, collecting the yang energy from heaven. But if you don't have low back problems, then go ahead and bend and stretch. Down the heavens one time, and exhale. And then from here, going into the liver cleansing exercise. So as though I'm holding a ball, tip the tongue quite straight up on the soft palate, on the roof of the mouth, connecting the internal channel for the liver. What's going to happen is I'm going to squeeze. One arm pulls back, the other arm presses forward. I squeeze to the midsection, one arm pulls back, the other arm pulls forward. So the liver is a big organ. It works with your gallbladder, controls your tendons, ligaments, and sinews, and also controls the eye. So any kind of eye problem comes back to a liver dysfunction. Now the liver is housed houses actually the negative emotion of anger and frustration, rage and resentment. The positive virtue of kindness comes in. So to make this into a mindfulness practice, I want you to focus on an event, past or present, that makes you angry or made you angry, or if there's any kind of resentment you know that you're harboring towards a situation or person or towards a group. I want you to focus that, and as you inhale, imagine this green cloud filling up into the right side of the body. As you exhale, allow for that liver to release the anger like a dark cloud going several feet away from the body and down deep into the ground. So you use also my legs as a pump once again, just gently pump that energy. So again, to make this into a mindfulness practice, I want you to focus on the situation that makes you angry. Feel it, who's involved, what's involved, and as you exhale, allow for that to leave like a dark cloud, going several feet away from the body and down deep into the earth. Feel. Alright, let's do a couple more. Press, letting that kindness and creativity to take the place of the anger, the resentment. Last press. And then I'm going to inhale. I'm going to lift up my right big toe. I'm going to clear out a green cloud through the liver channel that ends on the medial side of the big toe, or actually begins at the medial side. Clear, pull. And then pulling down the heavens one time, inhale. And exhale. Going into the heart move, as though we're cradling a baby. Tip the tongue now back behind the roof, on the roof of the mouth behind the teeth, like you're saying, and I'm going to exhale. Inhale in the center, exhale as I press. Inhale. Imagine a pink cloud filling up into the heart. And then as you exhale, you're going to allow for the emotions of abandonment, loneliness, lack of joy to release out through the hands like a dark cloud going several feet away from the body and deep into the ground. But the heart takes the brunt of all emotions, so anything, the broken heart, sorrow, loss, you focus on that. And as you exhale, imagine it leaving. It's a great practice also for anybody who has anxiety or anxiety attacks. So these emotions are actually good when they're processed properly. So like anger is actually a good emotion that allows you to create positive change in the world, get out of a bad situation, or to fight for the underdog. And when we let go of the abandonment and the loneliness, then the positive virtue of love comes in. And we're not just talking about the romantic type of love, but the universal love that all beings innately should have for one another. So going back to that liver and the emotions of anger, when people store anger for a long time, you see all kinds of conditions like Crohn's disease, colitis, TMJ, eye floaters, menstrual problems, digestive problems. Depression is when anger turns inward. anxiety disorders as well too. All kinds. Skin lesions, so if you break out in rashes or hives, that's a liver dysfunction as well. So let's do a couple more, allowing for the love to take the place of the abandonment, the hurt, the loss. And coming back to the middle, excuse me, pulling down the heavens one time, inhale, and exhale. Now imagine that the fingers become like long, hollow straws that enter down deep into the earth. Now working with our spleen, imagine a yellow cloud filling up into the left side of the body as we bring the fingers together. We're going to find a pivot point on the ceiling or in the sky if you're outside. We're going to pivot, inhale, pivot, focusing on the left side of the body where our spleen is located. So as I inhale, I'm going to imagine this yellow cloud filling up into my spleen. The emotions that attack the spleen and the stomach is worry, over intellectualizing, thinking too much. The positive virtue, when the worry leaves, is a virtue of peace of mind and serenity. So if your arms get tired, you can always bring your arm down and coil. So what I'm doing here is I'm shifting and I'm coiling the arm, looking at the palm, coming back. Tongue position, point straight down. And then the positive virtue that comes forth is the virtue of peace of mind and serenity. Coming around. Excuse me. So when we have too much worry and thinking too much, affects the spleen. One of the many functions of the spleen is the production of blood, or aiding in the production of blood. The organs that play a role in that. But we see prolapses, for example. So prolapse is where the organ falls out of place. We have a prolapse of the uterus, prolapse of the anus, and the bladder. Couple more here. Alright, I'm going to bring it back to the middle, pulling down, clearing out the spleen channel, lifting up the left big toe as I inhale. On the lateral side of the big toe is where the spleen acupuncture meridian begins. Spleen 1. Clearing out, imagine this yellow cloud or orange cloud going through the channel. And pulling down the head of this one time. Raise the hands up, inhale. And exhale, release. Inhale. And release. So imagine a white cloud filling up into the lungs, and I want you to focus on something that created sadness for you. Sadness, disappointment, loss, shame, or guilt all attack the lungs. So I want you to focus on that. Who's involved, what's involved, and what was the situation. Inhale. Allow for that white cloud to fill up into the lungs. Then as you exhale, allow allow for it to leave like a dark cloud, going several feet away from the body and deep into the ground. So in Greek, it's stuck in the lungs. You can see unproductive dry cough as it comes here. So if you lost a loved one or pet has ran away, and also you develop that unproductive dry cough, that's actually the grief stuck in the lungs. So to make this into a mindfulness practice, we focus on a present or past trauma where we've had this kind of loss. Feel it. Allow for it to leave out the hands like a dark cloud, going several feet away from the body and deep into the ground. Bringing forth the positive virtue of courage. Feel. Alright, so we're going to do one more. And I'm going to inhale, I'm going to pull that white cloud into my lungs. Allow for the courage push me through or pull me through the loss, the shame, the disappointment. Alright, going into the kidney cleansing exercise. So I'm going to place my hand on the kidney and I'm going to gaze at the back of the hand. What's going to happen here is I'm going to bend at the waist, inhale at the top. I'm going to imagine a blue cloud filling up into my kidneys. Kidneys are affected by fear and shock. So shock could be surviving a severe illness, a car accident, chemo, or something that we've seen or experienced like abuse, war, whether they're actually physically in war, or maybe there's war going on inside your home. Focus on that. Inhale, pull the blue cloud in. Exhale, allow for that fear to leave out to the bottom of the feet like a dark cloud. Alright, I'm going to do one more. And then I'm going to switch opposite side. Again, the blue cloud fills up. As we exhale, allow for the fear to leave. One more circle here as we wrap up today's time together. And I'm going to come back, pulling down the heavens 3 times. Inhale. And exhale. For first pull for heaven, connecting with this divine energy that emanates from all things. Being grateful to be alive. Second pull for this planet Earth that nurtures all life. Third pull for human compassion, kindness, and love towards one another. Developing better tolerance and understanding. And then placing the hands over the lower abdomen, 1 inch below the belly button with your eyes closed. Imagine a white mystical pearl that forms underneath the hands, gathering the energy from the space around you. As you exhale, imagine that this white light from this pearl releases and restores the vitality of the kidneys on the low back. Each time you inhale, the pearl gets brighter and brighter. And then as you exhale, you feel this warmth and this white light radiate around the waist to the kidneys on the low back. Inhale. Feeling revitalized, rejuvenated, centered, grounded. Feel this white light goes up into the kidneys. Last breath, inhale. And exhaling, filling up into the kidneys, and then from there, slowly open up your eyes, shaking out your feet a little bit. Okay, how did we do?
Ooh, feeling good.
Feeling good, all right. So this White Pearl meditation and the Center and Balance meditation, you could download on iTunes or Spotify. Just type in Chris Shelton, White Pearl meditation, and or Center and Balance meditation. And the cool thing about these meditations is that no matter how simplistic they are, they're all meant to do something medicinally inside your body. Also, please reach out if you want a copy of my book, Qigong for Self-Refinement. The edition that's on Amazon right now is an older edition. We have a newer edition that's more complete. And then also, too, we have the Qi Club. The Qi Club, you join us live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 8 to 8:30. It's a half-hour class where we go through these practices to empower people with people from all around the world. And once again, you have that also as part as, if you can't join us live, then you have the recordings to watch.
Yes, and Alan just dropped in the chat the exclusive link for this program this morning. If someone feels inclined to join the Qi Club, we'd love to see you on there.
Yeah, fantastic. So thank you again for joining us. My name is Chris Shelton from Shelton Qigong, and the voice you hear in the back is my beautiful wife,
Hello.
Mrs. Shelton. We're both instructors and master healers. So if there's no other questions.
Here comes Veronica.
Oh, hey, Veronica.
Hi, Chris. This was so magical. I literally turned my camera off and I was practicing with Marcelo in the back.
Oh, hey,
Like, I gotta take this
How
all
you
in.
doing, buddy? Yeah, thank you so much for having us. This was a lot of fun. And again, our main purpose is to help to inspire and uplift humanity and to give you tools for self-empowerment. So that's our big message. And Qigong is one method. It's not the only method, but is one method for that self-empowerment, and especially for mental health.
And there's
That's
lots.
right. Like they say, there are many roads that lead to Rome, and this is one of them. So for those of you who felt inspired, felt called, please join Chris. He's a beautiful angel in a human body. I got to know him on a friend level, and so amazing. Both of them, they're such a fun team to be in. Imagine Chris and Parisa. Oh, there it is. I was waiting for that. Imagine the two of them guiding your life for 2 times a week. I mean, what a gift. What a tremendous gift. Qigong is such a great practice to bring ourselves in a body, because a lot of times when we deal with trauma and stuff, we want to get out of the body, right? We want to leave, we want to go somewhere else. We use different coping mechanisms, and Qigong brings us back into our body. Not only that, but the movement helps that Qi, that prana, the life force flow through us, and it's such an important practice to adapt in your life. So if you feel called, follow Chris wherever he goes, because he's beyond phenomenal. And
Thank you so much. Yeah, and you can find me, all the social media handles is at Chris Shelton Qigong, and you spell Qigong Qigong. TikTok, it's Chris_Shelton_Qigong. So.
You're on TikTok? Wow.
Yeah,
check out the TikTok.
check out the TikTok, yes.
I love that.
Thank you, TikTok. All the TikTok followers love you and appreciate you as well too, yes. TikTok has been great for us, being able to send out these short little videos that inspire people, whether it's talking about cooking or herbology, or face reading. There's so many things that we put out there on TikTok as well too.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Chris. It's been such a pleasure, such an honor to have you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.